Keith is kicking off this hour in Phoenix, Arizona. Keith, welcome to the Ramsey Show.
Thanks for having me, and I appreciate you taking my call, Rachel and George. My wife loves streaming your show, by the way, Rachel.
Oh, thank you.
Sweet.
My question is going to be a weird one. I am at the end of a 17-year journey to get debt-free in October.
Wow.
Literally the lion was outside the tent door, and he was hungry. Honey, we need to file bankruptcy or something needs to change. That level of desperation.
Keith, what was the debt? Can I ask?
Oh, house, credit cards, the American dream, right?
We
were in our 20s and early 30s, and you need a new couch? Go charge it. That kind of stupidity. In the process of that 17 years, we did the whole Ramsey, sold everything we could sell, paid off the credit cards, got the cars taken care of. But corporation moved 5 times, got downsized, got kidney cancer, started a business. So we're the tortoise. We got there in October. My thing is, I'm the leader of my house. For 17 years, we've been running from the lion. The lion's gone. We have these discussions of what's next, and maybe we should get a cabin. And then, my wife and I are both free spirits, so that's another little hiccup in this thing. My wife's on Realtor.com looking at cabins. I'm like, well, no, we don't want to go back into debt. So it's kind of we're at this weird place where, everything's good on, hey, get out of debt, do the steps, get the 529 funded for your kids. We're doing all that stuff. We're doing really well. But there's no what's next. And after, literally first time in 30 years, we're debt-free. I feel lost. Sometimes I miss the lion, if that makes sense.
Yeah. So, Keith, let me get this straight. You guys are in baby step 7, and your primary home is paid for?
As of our 26th wedding anniversary this October, we paid it off on the night of our 26th anniversary.
Way to go!
Congrats, Keith. That's a big deal.
Well, and you say that with excitement, and my wife cried, and it was beautiful. But I've known this was going to happen since January, February last year, because I knew where the money was coming from. But once again, I feel lost because I don't have a what's next. And I never thought I'd call you guys and say that.
Well, we get this call. We do get this call, I would say, on a regular basis of this idea of whether people have paid off. They're already on baby step 7, or they're even on just 4, 5, and 6, and they think, how can we have fun? We don't even know how to do this. Because it's going to take some new habits. Like you said, you've been in the habit of running away from that lion and paying off this debt, and now there's nothing. And so you guys need to sit down and you guys need to have some goals. And the goal now is not paying off debt. The goal is, okay, what are we going to do? Because there's really 3 things, Keith, that you guys can do with money. You can give it, you can save it, and you can spend it. So you need to do all 3. I would up some of your giving. I would look to see what can we be saving for in the future. What's our 10-year goal? What do we want to have in retirement? Do we want a cabin? All of those. And then the part that's going to be tough for you guys, or maybe not, you're both free spirits, but to up that spending lifestyle a little bit, a few percentage points, and enjoy some of this as well. So it's kind of a whole formula, but I would really, really recommend, Keith, you guys sitting down. My husband and I, we do this once a year, and we look ahead and say, okay, in the next 3 to 5 years, what are things we want to do? What do we want to give to? Do we want to replace a car? Do we want to, go on a certain trip? You can start planning out and having goals out there. That is what your what's next. That's what that will be.
Yeah. And like Rachel's saying, you kind of need to plan for the fun. And for the free spirit to do that, it actually is super helpful. So you don't feel bad and you're not out of control in one area or another. You're not hoarding up money over here, saving for nothing because you can't stop. But you're not also spending out of control and going back into debt and making some unwise decisions. So I would split it up and go, all right, we want to do one fun thing. All right, we're going to save up for vacation. We're going to go to Europe this year. We know we want to buy the cabin. Okay, we agree that's a 5-year goal. So let's just save up to where in 5 years we can pay cash for the cabin. All right, we want to give this much. And that way you have a plan. You can kind of take a deep breath and enjoy where you guys are at. This is a good problem to have, Keith, and I don't want it to cause anxiety for you.
It's a blessing. Don't get me wrong, but like I said, being the leader and literally our focus. I mean, we paid off almost $70,000 on the house just this year to get to this point. So we've been hitting it almost as hard now as a Gazelle to get it finished as we did when we first had the credit card debt. And now there's like nothing. That's just unnerving in a way. So maybe I've changed and I'm not as much of a free spirit as I used to be.
We've trained you.
Well, and I think you can realize too that life is, there's a quality of life that money doesn't have to buy. Like, you can be content with maybe, the lifestyle thing is like, hey, we really don't need what we thought we needed, and we're kind of okay with that. Like, you're going to get to a lot of these conclusions, and I appreciate, Keith, your kind of intensity and motivation of being that leader. As you keep saying, you've said that word twice in this call, which is great. But I think too, money is such a team effort. And I think, you and your wife have done a great job being a team through that. So continue to be a team. Don't put all of this on your shoulders. Bring her in and you guys together say, okay, as our family, what do we want this to look like? And those conversations, once you get used to it, and granted, you this has only been 90 days for you, so you can take a deep breath. You're okay. You don't have to figure all this out right now. But as you really get into that new norm, those conversations are fun as a couple when you say, wow, we really have no payments. What's our next goal? What do we want to do? And it's a beautiful thing, Keith. I'm really proud of you guys.
Yeah. And part of this is balancing that contentment and goals. It's great to have both. You can have a lot of great goals and you can be very content with where you're at. And I think right now, figuring out that new balance is what's important for you.
I appreciate that. We'll have to have a family meeting and get our son in there and work on this. So yeah, that's something I like, that idea of having a fun goal and maybe some more longer term things that we can shoot for instead of just running from something.
That's exactly.
And I don't know who needs to hear this out in America. Getting cancer, getting laid off is so much better when you don't have credit card debt and car payments. I can't imagine how we would have made it. So get through those baby steps fast because life gets in the way.
Beautifully said, Keith. Man, what an inspiration. Way to go, man.
It's true. That's
Enjoy
life.
Baby Step 7 life. It's a good one.